Did you ever stop to wonder why a man who never wrote a single line, who never led an army, and who never ruled a nation, could be remembered and revered more than 2 millennia after his death? Welcome to the curious world of Socrates, the enigmatic philosopher from ancient Athens. Socrates was an intriguing character, infamous for his relentless questioning. His life was not marked by grand discoveries or innovative creations, but by a dangerous curiosity that threatened the comfort of established wisdom. He had a knack for turning the norms inside out, questioning every belief and every tradition, much like a child who wonders why the sky is so vast. His approach to life was simple, yet groundbreaking. He would engage anyone around him in deep conversations about life's big questions. From politicians and poets to craftsmen, no one was immune to his probing inquiries. "What is virtue?" he would ask. Or, "What does it mean to live a good life?" And as they set about answering, Socrates, with the sharpness of a seasoned surgeon, would dissect their responses, revealing hidden contradictions and assumptions, leaving them in a state of enlightened bewilderment. However, not everyone was amused by his relentless questioning. Accusations flew thick and fast. "Corrupting the youth," they cried out. The leaders of Athens, threatened by his radical ideas, saw him not as a harmless philosopher, but as a dangerous dissident who could shake the very foundations of their society with his sharp wit and probing questions. The timing of Socrates' life added to his tragedy. In a time when democracy was still a fledgling concept, and the line between reverence for the gods and the pursuit of knowledge was precariously thin, Socrates danced dangerously close to impiety. He dared to suggest that wisdom lay not in the divine oracles or the grand poetry of the epics, but in the humble admittance of one's ignorance. This bold approach led him to a tragic end. On an ordinary day in 399 BC, Socrates found himself standing before the rulers of the city, not as a revered scholar, but as a defendant in a trial that would determine his fate. The charges against him were as severe as they were vague. Corrupting the youth and impiety, the evidence, his very existence. In a grimly comical twist, Socrates defended himself using the same tool that had landed him in court: relentless questioning. But his accusers were obstinate. They had already decided his fate. The verdict was as inevitable as it was illogical. Socrates was sentenced to death, not by a sword or a noose, but by a cup of hemlock. A fitting end, one might say, for a man who had spent his life intoxicated by the pursuit of knowledge. Yet even in his final moments, Socrates remained a philosopher. He pondered the nature of death and the immortality of the soul, turning his last breaths into a lesson for those willing to listen. His death marked the end of a life dedicated to the relentless pursuit of truth. While Athens may have silenced the man, they could not silence the questions he had set free. His students, particularly Plato, ensured that his legacy lived on, painting him not as a troublemaker, but as a martyr for wisdom. Today, Socrates' vindication lies not in the courts of Athens, but in the minds of scholars, in the halls of academia, and in the very fabric of Western thought. His life stands as a testament to the power of questioning, reminding us that the greatest threat to authority is not a weapon, but a well-timed question. Such is the enduring legacy of Socrates, the philosopher who dared to question everything.